Hello, I'm John Eldredge, and welcome to the Ransomed Heart audio podcast. For more information on Ransomed Heart Ministries, our resources and events, please visit us online at www.ransomedheart.com.
This is the Ransomed Heart podcast, and my name's Craig McConnell, and I welcome you. You were at a men's retreat recently, and we usually have a Q&A time. And typically, the men ask the questions, and we answer. Well, this one was a little different. John kind of surprised us and asked us several questions he thought were good and that the men might find helpful. And he turned to us and simply asked us, what have we been reading lately? What are the books that have been kind of shaping, feeding, or entertaining our soul? And you'll hear Bart, John, Morgan, and myself respond to that question from this men's retreat.
What have you been reading?
I'm in Orthodoxy right now by Chesterton, and I read it, I would say about 7 years ago. And I just felt like someone had mentioned it, felt like God brought it back, and I think what God was wanting to do is remind me this isn't some crazy sideline thing.
This isn't.
Yes,
yeah.
That I've, saddled my horse to.
Right.
That the gospel has been forever. And constantly people are recovering that treasure, that It's orthodoxy.
Yep.
And we've tapped into this stream, that there is this branch and we are a vine. And I think God just kind of led me there to just remind me that this is grounded in something ancient and massive.
That's good. That's good. You know what? That is the irony of the people that, obviously, we get a good bit of criticism and people think we're way out there. The irony is you cannot believe how conservative we are theologically. The irony is that we are unbelievably orthodox. It's just that the church has been so taken out by the religious spirit and by the counterfeit thing, this sounds crazy, But you go back and there it is. The stream is there. The theme is there. What have you been reading?
Well, I just finished a historical novel, and I'm kind of just delving back in the Old Testament and going through some books there. So it's kind of
What was the novel?
It was a Michener. It was Texas. It was written a long time ago.
Bart spends an awful lot of time in Texas. We've been trying to figure out kind of his travel patterns, and it's like there's this sort of gravitational field that keeps drawing him back. That cracks me up that you're reading Michener's Texas.
No, I read it. I finished it. 1,100 pages.
That's good. What have you been reading?
I'm reading Pittsburgh.
It's over his head. He can't handle it.
Oh. I am, one of the things I am guilty of is I think I have 30 books on my nightstand and I'm reading portions of all of them. So what I've most recently read is Annie Dillard, Pilgrim at Tinker Creek.
Yeah, it's a fabulous book.
And then I love history. I just find the lessons from biographies and from times past just so intriguing. And I can't even tell you the name of the book. It's David, is it Haberstein? It's on the Korean War, the Cold War, and all that. And that's what I mean. I've got a book on warfare. And I kind of go to bed at night, and actually I've cut out a lot of my reading at bed because now I'm praying. But I kind of look at the stack of books and just kind of, what do I feel like reading? Mm-hmm. I love Anne Lamott and her writings, and I'm always picking that up. So that's probably the most current stuff.
I've been reading Bill Johnson, When Heaven Invades Earth. Great book on the kingdom. Been reading Agnes Sanford's book on the healing power of Christ. Incredible book on healing prayer. I read MacDonald. I keep coming back to that often. I read a lot of books on nature, mountain climbing, mountain adventures, that kind of thing. So let me ask a tangent question, or a follow-up question is, recommend a book you really ought to read.
I have 10, but the first one that comes to mind would be Gerald May, Addiction and Grace.
Incredible book.
Yeah, I have so many. I love reading, but Walt Harrington's Everlasting Stream, just phenomenal writing on the masculine journey. Incredible book.
That's a great read.
The Everlasting Stream.
Yeah, Walt Harrington, Everlasting Stream. He's a professor at University of Illinois, and most of his other stuff is on different topics, but that's very autobiographical on his story of his masculine journey and initiating his son in that.
Yeah, it's huge.
I'd say the biography of Oswald Chambers, written by Dave McCaslin. Really good book.
Wow. I asked the question, I don't know how to answer it now.
And you said one.
I know, I said one. That wasn't fair. I probably should have said pick three.
At least.
Unspoken Sermons, George MacDonald. But don't start with the first chapter. It's not his best. There are actually a bunch of sermons in there. I asked God what to read, but like his one on life, his one on Abba Father. Some of his stuff in there is just beyond brilliant. Some of it's just okay, but that is a phenomenal book.
Well, that was this most recent Ransomed Heart podcast. Thanks for listening. For the team, this is Craig McConnell inviting you to join us again and to take advantage of our resources at iTunes Store or ransomedheart.com.